What's going on? It's the Kitty GM. We're back again on EGTV. How is everybody doing? I hope everybody is well. I just want to start off by saying this was a shambolic performance from the team overall. I just want to say it could be a situation where Kieran, Tierney, and Thomas Partey, we find out that they're injured in the same day, and it could be possible that Kieran Tierney could be out for the remainder of the season. Now, before the game, a certain I don't even want to say it. Arteta spoke about the fact that he could have a knee injury and he will be needing to get it checked out before the game. We found out that Nuno Tavares was going to start. Only good news was Ramsdale's back today. And what happened was Nuno Tavares came in, had an absolute shocking performance, and we conceded 2 goals off the back of a free kick and another situation from a ball splitting pass. Gabriel makes an error. Ben White makes an error. Nuno Tavares makes 2 errors, getting us 2-0 down. The worst first half performance from Arsenal this season since the Man City game. And every single person running with agendas, if you are a Chelsea fan and you say Chilwell's out of your team and you show how important he is to your team, today we've seen how important Kieran Tierney being out of our team is. Kieran Tierney single-handedly would have stopped those 2 first goals that went in from Crystal Palace today. The header that Nuno Tavares. I don't want to see Nuno Tavares start another game this season. If Nuno Tavares starts a game, I will not be confident. I feel like that guy single-handedly could drop us 3 points. And I don't want to hear anybody here giving excuses to Nuno Tavares. That is a terrible performance. After Nottingham Forest, I expected you to pick yourself up and play better, but what you did was unexcusable. Unexcusable. Now, I could talk about the referees. I could talk about them giving a penalty and not giving us a penalty. I'm not going to do that. I'll save that for later for us to discuss. But what I will discuss is Emil Smith-Rowe. You have a clear-cut chance. Weak shot. You have to bury that. You have to bury that. Odegaard, weak shot. You have to bury that. It's on us. We dropped 2 points. We dropped 3 points, but we had an opportunity to make it 2-2. We had an opportunity to make it 2-2 before the 3rd goal. And then finally, Odegaard giving away the penalty. I don't know what you're doing. And I'm just going to, before I bring everybody else in, Thomas Partey, I have been heaping your praises. Today on the timeline, people were calling you a world-class player. That first half, you gave away more possession than we did alone in the last 2 games. Combined. You gave away more possession today in that first half. 10 times you lost the ball in that first half, Thomas Partey. You're a world-class midfielder. You're supposed to be the best midfielder in this team. You performed worse than Lokonga today. And you got injured. You could be out with a hamstring injury. I honestly don't know what to say to any of these guys. I am not going to rant. I'm not going to go even more crazy. I'm going to get it out of my system right now. Finally, anybody who is taking this moment to say Arsenal have always been bad. This is a mentality issue. We're going to lose top 4. Get it out of your system. This is a bad performance. We go again against Brighton. Calm the hell down. This is not happening again. This happened once against Crystal Palace, away from home. It happens. We move on. Next game against Brighton at home, Saturday kickoff. We better win this game. We go again. I am not going to let this affect the whole team. We're not going to let this affect the dressing room. We need to regroup, get our shit together, and focus. And that's why the title of the video is Time to Focus. Let's go. Anyways, what are you saying, score guy? Because honestly, my head's gone.
How are you feeling? I know you've been a bit ill recently.
Bro, I thought today was supposed to make me feel better. Honestly,
Listen, Arsenal is always going to make you feel bad. You know, I mean, it's just the way it's the passion. It's the passion. Listen, look. You know, I think what you just said is absolutely right. I think all Gooners have just been, you know, we've been kicked on the floor tonight, and it breaks my heart, and all the Gooners' hearts are going to be broken tonight because we really felt that we had taken a step, and tonight was going to be the chance to really push that on. And obviously it isn't. I don't know where that performance came from. I mean, we're all sitting there watching it, And I was just shaking my head. We started. It's like we didn't play for the first 15 minutes. It's like we gave them so many chances with the ball. We were second to everything. We were third to everything. We weren't even in contention. I know that the injury to KT obviously threw them a little bit, but even so, I couldn't give a performance to nearly any player. I've been trying to think. I mean, Saka probably having to go back and fill in. He was probably one of the, for once he actually really helped the team tonight. And as for Smith Rowe and Odegaard's chances, I mean, like you say, if you get in those positions, Smith Rowe, God, what was he doing? I mean, he just needs to pop that in, and we're back in the game. I mean, I just felt we didn't lay a glove on Crystal Palace in the whole 90 minutes. I just felt we were weak everywhere. Ramsdale was panicking in the first 5 minutes. He was giving them more confidence from his performances. Obviously, Gabriel must be up all night with his baby. He hasn't obviously slept. It's just falling. There's something going on there. But let's move on to where we're going to be for Brighton. Xhaka is now going to be suspended through yellow cards. He picked up a yellow card at the end. We obviously Tavares. He should never pull on a shirt again this season. Where are we? What positions are we going to play? Saka back there? Are we going to bring Martinelli in? I don't know. Who's going to play in the midfield? You play Cedric. And he's going to pop in there. I really don't know. I think we're going to have to make some really strong and positive changes. And what I will say is this blip for tonight, this complete and utter night that hopefully will be forgotten when we get top four. We're still in the driving seat. We've still got that game in hand, and we have to win against Brighton. There's no question of it, or else the wheels will start falling off confidence wise. But we're playing at home on Saturday, and I think that if Arteta sets the team up correctly, but I mean, let's be honest about it. We've always, all throughout the season and all through the last few years, international breaks have always come at the wrong time for Arsenal. We've always broken up. We were playing so well with lots of confidence. You get an international break and suddenly we come back. Partey obviously doesn't even bother getting back. I don't know who he sent, but that's not Thomas Partey that was there before the international break. I don't know who that guy was tonight. I really don't. Anyway, listen, pass it over to someone else at the moment because I just need to gather my thoughts a little bit because I'm absolutely...
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, Colleen. If you didn't hear, I was literally going in on all these guys, Tavares, Partey, Gabriel, Ben White, and all the Arsenal fans who are just going into this super negative approach to everything. Like, imagine if we lose our mind over one game that we lose in a top four race. Imagine if we were ever in a league title race, guys. How these guys would go crazy. You remember our league title race in the past? There was a level of calmness if you drop points, understanding you regroup and you go again. But it almost seems like in the social media era, if you lose one game, everything's terrible. You're finishing 8th, like we heard on the Rivals earlier on the terrace. Everything is going to shit. But yeah, also, let me introduce you guys. If you don't know, this is my friend Melina. She's from Toronto. Big up, Melina. I'm gonna let you go first. Big up, Colleen for coming. And if you guys don't already know, my guy Score Guy, also in the bottom corner right there. But yeah, Melina, you take it away. What do you think about this game?
First off, shout out to everyone in the chat. Sorry the stream was late, but if you haven't already, subscribe to EGTV for the latest Arsenal news and match reactions. You already know. Today's performance was unacceptable, appalling, disastrous, and I never want to see Nuno Tavares in an Arsenal kit ever again in my life. He should be first on this transfer list, either on loan or sell him. Kieran Tierney is made out of glass. I hate to say it, but that's the truth. And if we have the opportunity to cash in on him for 50 million or whatever from Real Madrid, take it and run. Today's performance, I thought Gabriel's missus gave birth, not him. This whole team felt like they just performed on the pitch after giving birth. It was ridiculous.
That was a good one.
Tierney seeing a specialist tomorrow is very concerning. He could be out for the rest of the season, and we might have to play Saka there. Or, granted, Xhaka is suspended, so we can't even play Xhaka. But today, Thomas Partey, for 16 days, you helped Ghana qualify for the World Cup. When you come back from international break, You were absolutely woeful today. And on top of that, you got yourself injured. And now that's a big concern as well for the rest of our season. But today, our whole entire fullbacks from Gabriel onwards and missing 2 easy sitters from Martin Odegaard and Emil Smith Rowe. We could have been 2-2 before the Zaha penalty. And I'm not going to talk about the Saka penalty because either way, we did not deserve to win the game today. We were always last to get the ball, misplaced passes, and we could not comfortably beat Crystal Palace or even try to draw this game. We were like a deer in headlights today. Gabriel, Odegaard, Partey, all together had poor games. Along with Lacazette. Lacazette couldn't even do the simple basics of a striker today. The basics, the bare minimum he couldn't do today. You know, and this is what's going to bite us because in January, we didn't sign any backup players. We didn't sign a striker. We didn't sign anyone. It's going to come and cost us. And that's what I'm worried about. But I'm not going to be overreactionary and say our season is a write-off because we still have games to play. And so do other teams. Just because we lose one game, I really hope we're going to bounce back against Brighton at home.
Yeah, I hear you. Colleen, how you doing? We didn't really get to have too much in-depth analysis of the game earlier, of course, but I want to get your take on the actual like situation. And for everyone who heard what you said on the terrace, just maybe switch it up a little bit. What do you think about it?
I mean, I've had a minute to calm down now. I'm not going to lie, it was awful. It was just, I mean, I think it was just awful. It just kind of felt like for the first or maybe second time this season under Arteta, it kind of felt like no one knew what the hell they were doing. Once the first goal went in, they were all just kind of looking around at each other like, oh, okay, what do we do now? Second goal goes in, it's like, oh, okay, what do we do now? Like there's such a, it felt, we have leaders, we have growing leaders in this team, shall we say. But today, it was like no one wanted to step up and take responsibility. No one wanted to grab the game by the scruff of the neck. We were second, third to everything today. Everything. We didn't deserve anything from this game. We got what we deserved. And yeah, Smith Rowe and Odegaard, they should have buried their chances, but we didn't even deserve it. We didn't even deserve it. And I can take us losing because Arsenal, Tottenham, United, in this run-in for the top four, they're going to drop points, okay? We're going to drop points. That's a fact. But to lose in that manner, the Crystal Palace, like no disrespect to Crystal Palace, they've done wonders under Vieira. So what we've got 1 point from Crystal Palace this season. It's just not good enough. It's just not good enough. We've made so many strides. And when you see a performance like that, it's disheartening because I can take us losing and dropping points, but not in that way. Not in that way. We still have players on the pitch to at least get 3 strings of passes together. It felt like, I even mentioned it earlier, like a lack of footballing IQ at sometimes. It just felt like they were just so confused that Palace were up for it at home in a London derby. It was like, they were like, oh, Palace actually can play. Where have you been this season? It was so frustrating. Listen, we are still in a top 4 race. We've got a game in hand. Okay, it's against Chelsea. We've lost three games in the last 4 months in the league. I don't expect us to like spiral now. We shouldn't spiral now. If anything we saw after the Liverpool game, we should bounce back. We need to win the next 2 at least. And then we can reevaluate. We can be very upset with that performance though. It was unacceptable. No Arsenal team should ever go away to Crystal Palace and play like that. Ever. I don't care what the personnel is. We can never go away to Crystal Palace and play like that.
Guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I've been sick all day. I've been sick all like the last 2 days, right? And like I was looking forward to today to be like something positive, something else to think about, just get my mind off it. I've been fasting also, so it's like it's just so much going on. And I'm like, you know what? Arsenal has something positive in my life to look forward to. But days like today, it just shows how frustrating it is as a fan. And especially when you have something to play for. We haven't had much to play for the last couple of years. So when it comes to this point of the season, it's almost like you switch off. But today is just, is it a mentality thing? That's the first question I want to ask everyone. Is it a mentality thing? Is it something like mentally we're not prepared yet for these type of moments? We have a young team. Is it a mentality issue? What would you say it is? Because I cannot excuse this performance down to just, oh, mentally they're worried, they bottled it. Because I'm hearing a lot of rivals saying these guys are young, they bottled it. We know they're young, they're going to bottle it. But I just cannot excuse that. I'll give it to you, Score Guy, because I feel like you want to speak on it first. Is it a mentality issue?
I think, well, first of all, I think for the fans and for our fan base, it's a reality check. And I think we all, sometimes in life, you need a little bit of grounding. And I think we can really bounce back from this. And I'm glad that it's, in a way, if it's going to happen, it should happen now before we've got these next games to come and get our teeth into and really get behind the team on Saturday. And I'm really hoping that's going to be a response. It's going to be a positive response. Regarding the mentality of the team, I mean, listen, I've seen enough seasons and I've seen enough run-ins and I've seen enough victories and championships and Premier Leagues and whatever won. I do think it's a young team. I think football always is about confidence. I don't see how their confidence can have dropped when we haven't played for 16 days and they've all been away playing in international and doing, on the whole, very well, getting goals. You know, Odegaard had a great game. You know, we just talked about Partey. Obviously, we had the COVID situation with Saka and with Rowe. We don't know how that is with there. I was very worried in the week about Saka and about whether he could train and how it is, if it's long term or if it's affected him. Then we've got injuries to KT. We've got these things that they're on paper. There are reasons where you can say that we could have dipped a little bit tonight. But as you were just saying, there is no excuse for the drop in that performance. I mean, like you said, we can lose games to better teams, and we have done this season. We've scraped to just nearly lose to some great teams with a City game and whatever. But tonight, playing against Palace, who technically, yes, should be below us, but also, you know, we knew it was going to be hard. Everyone knew it was going to be hard. Monday night at Palace, they're in the FA Cup semi-final. They've been playing really well. Vieira's got them ticking. We should have seen this as the banana skin that it was, and we should have set up ourselves to dictate against that banana skin that was coming. Monday night, they're really partisan, you know, ultra crowd going for it, you know, small pitch, you know, all these things. But for some reason, I'll go back to it, those first 20 minutes, we were not at the races. I don't know how Arteta set them up or what had happened, but we were just, I wrote on Twitter half an hour before kickoff, if I was the manager, I would have literally said to him, listen, first 20 minutes, every single tackle, go in as hard as you can, right? Because they will not like it, because they've got a semi-final in the FA Cup coming up. They're going to all the players want to play in that. I know they're going to be playing hard because they want to get picked, but in the back of their minds, you know, you've got Zaha coming in who's got a slight injury. You know, just get on them. Just get on them in their faces at home, put the crowd to sleep, and just nullify the game. But just get in their faces. That's what I would have done. And we didn't. We just literally left every door, the back door, the front door, the windows open, and just let them come in. We just didn't shut anything down. And that's what really worries me. We talk about mentality, but where is that coming from? Where is that decision to not shut them down in the first few minutes when you're playing from home? We don't always have to be Arsenal going forward and looking for something, you know, in those first few minutes. Settle the game down. And we just didn't do that. And I think that mentality comes from somebody, and it has to be the management.
Big up score guy, man. Honestly, I feel like you mentioned so many things that could have been like 3 different topics, honestly. It's not only about mentality, it's not only about the managers. There's so many different factors that come into it. But just so I can get your takes on it, Colleen and Melina, what do you guys think? Do you also think it's a mentality thing, or what do you put it down to today's performance? Because as my guy one of my guys in the chat said, they all played so well during the internationals. You would have thought they would have came back and then done the same thing for us. I'll just go to Colleen, then I'll go to you, Melina. Colleen, what do you got to say on this?
It's difficult to say that it is like the mentality 100%, because we did lose Liverpool and then bounce back straight away. And we've had these banana skins, like, you know, the Everton game at Goodison, you know, we started to pick up form afterwards, and that was a crap game. So I don't know whether it's mentality. I don't think it is, but I don't know what it is. I'll be honest with you. I don't know what it is, because, you know, if we were going to drop points, you know, as tough as it is to take, you'd rather do it against, you know, Chelsea or United. Just like if they're playing a better team than you. Crystal Palace are not a better team than Arsenal. They've done really well, but they're not. And the boys should have just been up for it. And it just didn't seem like they were interested. So whether I'm thinking, surely it's not the pressure of Tottenham beating Newcastle 5-1. Surely that can't be the reason, because we played after Tottenham on many occasions post since we took the driving seat in the top 4 race. Whether it's complacency, potentially, maybe believing their own hype on social media, potentially. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's completely mentality, but I don't know what it is. But Arteta's going to have to figure that out. He's going to have to figure out what the hell it is, because this can't happen again against when we play a lesser side going in. We don't have that many chances left.
Yeah, I hear you. Seems like we also have some questions to ask today. But Melina, do you have anything else to say on the mentality thing, or should we just move on to the injuries?
Yeah, I just want to say I think mentality matters going forward. Assuming that Kieran Tierney might be out for the rest of the season, how are we going to bounce back with injuries? How are we going to work together as a team, as a cohesive unit? Because today there was no link-up play between the attack and the midfield. This team was all over the place. They had their head in their ass and they couldn't get their shit together. I want to see how the Arsenal will come back and, break down a team like Brighton, an easy team. You can't tell me Brighton are better than us. We have to beat them. And you've seen us come back against, Liverpool when we lost to them prior to. We were on a winning streak. A lot of teams are going to have a dip in form and also lose games that they shouldn't be losing. Look at Chelsea. They lost to Brentford. I'm not saying we're anywhere near Chelsea, mind you, but we're a team with the most youngsters in the Premier League in our starting 11. And that's something we have to be mindful of, but it's no excuse for our crap performances as a team. There's a lot of senior players in our team today, like Partey and Saka and Gabriel, that didn't live up to the expectations.
There you go. Just to let everybody know, now we're going to go to the question portion of the period. Who's going to be a bigger miss? And if they are both out, Kieran Tierney or Thomas Partey, and just how big of a miss are they both going to be? For me, Kieran Tierney, one injury, guys, cannot be the thing that derails our season. But if they're both out, I am not going to concede top 4 to Tottenham or any of these other guys. I'm not going to be like these other people saying, you know what, it's done. It's not done. But it is a big, big blow if these two guys are out. And I'm just very, very worried. I am more worried about Thomas Partey and Tierney's injuries than I am of Manchester United or Tottenham. Because with our players fully fit, I believe we are good enough to get top 4 easy. And if I show you guys, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm the king of graphics and all these things. I always have graphics ready to go. Just to let you know, even if sorry, Colleen, this covering your face. Even if we lose today, and we hypothetically we lose to Chelsea, drop points to Manchester United, and drop points to Tottenham, we still get top 4, even with the rest of the games remaining. So now we just cannot afford to lose to Brighton or Southampton or any of these other teams. We can still drop 4 points. We can still drop mathematically 5 points from now until the end of the season, guys, and still get top 4 mathematically. Tottenham can do nothing. They win every game except for the Arsenal game. We still will get top 4. So don't worry. Stop saying Arteta out. Stop saying all these crazy things. Stop going crazy. Now, if you're already Arteta out and you stand by that, no problem. You think the way you want to think. I'm not going to change off one game. I'm not going to be overreactionary. Now, bringing it back to the injuries, that's not going to derail our season. What's going to derail our season is our us being able to bounce back. But what do you guys think? I'll throw to Melina first, and since you went last time, injuries. Are you worried?
I am worried about our injuries. The Kieran Tierney news is very concerning, and I don't think Tavares is up to speed to replace him right now. It's very likely that, maybe Cedric might play left back and move Ben White to right back with Holding in the squad as possible, or we sacrifice Bukayo Saka for left back, and at least he can attack in that way and hope that Pepe turns up as a replacement. But I'm a bit worried, but we can't rely on our season on injuries. We can't write off our season based on injuries, because every team faces injuries. That's no excuse for us to not perform. We should have had plans for this in the January transfer window and signed backups, and we failed to do that, and that's probably going to cost us. But we have to keep it going how it is and make adjustments with what we have in our squad at the moment.
Colleen, do we play your boy Cedric at left back? Is that the solution? If you guys don't know, Colleen said play Cedric before this big run that we had with Cedric in the team, and he's been spotless. So let me know, what do you think? And today he wasn't even that bad, to be honest.
I don't think he was one of our, I don't want to say better players, but the one that could walk out a little bit less unscathed than some of the others.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's a bit of it's a sticky one what we do, because we really have to start putting almost squares and circular holes almost, because we just don't have that strength and depth. Tavares, because at the beginning of the season when he was playing, he looked raw, but he didn't look as bad as he's been, as he's progressively played more and more for Arsenal. And these little cameos he's having, he's awful. He literally can't play again this season. Like, I'm not even trying to sound reactionary with that, but he's been awful. He can't play. Lokonga had a little cameo tonight, but what can you really do when you're 3-0 down? So you think naturally he would come in. I don't know whether Arteta would sacrifice putting Saka in left back. It would depend on how much he trusts Pepe, and at the minute, I don't think he trusts him very much. We need to see how Tomiyasu fares as well before we move Cedric around, because we don't really know what's going on there, whether he's still injured, whether he can sustain to the end of the season. We just don't know what's going on. And then you have the option, like you said, of maybe switching around, putting Ben White, having Cedric, and then having Holding back into the team. None of these is ideal, and unfortunately, that does go back to the club deciding. We've always had a very thin squad that got even thinner in January, and I know you don't want to get players that you don't necessarily particularly want, or maybe you don't want them for 6 months, but we all knew we were 1 or 2 injuries away from being in this type of situation, and I don't want us to miss out on top 4 because we didn't have depth, have a decent squad to at least challenge for it, because it doesn't really stand up in an argument in a whole. Maybe we could have got it if we had our players fit, because it doesn't really wash. It'd be very disappointing considering we've come this far. I think Arteta's going to have to do some tinkering, and he's going to have to get it spot on. He can't really have any errors with this. He's going to have to start trusting Pepe, or whatever he decides to do. He needs to trust 100% those players are going to perform, at least put in a performance.
There you go. Score guy. Just before we go to score guy, Corey just joined in. Corey, I'm just gonna just give us your quick reaction on the game, and then we're gonna keep it moving back onto the topic we're discussing.
Yeah. How you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing good. Today, absolute shambles. I don't know what we was expecting. Everyone's been on international break. I know everyone's going on like their international duties and that, but they've still been playing. Today was absolute shambles. Tavares, Jesus Christ, he is an Olympic sprinter, isn't he? He just runs. Absolute, just defensively today, his football brain is just gone today. And as for injuries, bro, I don't know what the deal with Partey is. I feel like Arteta just took him off just for the sake of it. I don't know if it's bad or anything. The one I'm mainly concerned of is Tierney's, because with Tavares left going into the most crucial part of the season, it's going to be a real blow, especially since we still got to go to Chelsea, still got to go to Tottenham, Man United. We still have Man United to come, and we still have to go to West Ham. People haven't really mentioned that we still have to go to West Ham. It's still going to be a tough game, and I think it's really. I said this in January, bro. That window is going to make or break us. And I was saying, because we didn't buy that midfielder or we didn't get that striker, it's going to cost us in May. So, yeah.
There you go. Big up, Corey. Thank you for coming on, bro. I'm just going to take you out now, but I appreciate you coming on always, man.
Yeah, man. Big up, bro.
Big up. Score guy, you're going to say injuries. What do you think?
Oh, God. I don't know. I mean, it's deeply concerning, and I just think that, as I said before, Arteta's going to prove himself over the next 2 weeks, because he has to juggle this pack of cards that he suddenly lost a lot of the cards from the pack, and he's going to have to put it out there in a way to get results now. It's not going to be about Arsenal free-flowing, hail end, look at the flow of this team. He's going to have to make this team, he's going to have to set the team up to win games, and we're going to see a slightly different Arsenal, because if he tries to play the way he has been over the last few games, we're not going to get the results. We're going to have to really play to win on Saturday. There's no other choice. He's going to have to, obviously, the permutations of who's going to play where. We're not the managers. We can all play around with those, holes in square holes in round holes, all this sort of stuff. He'll have to make those decisions, and he'll live and die on those decisions. I'm a little bit concerned, as I have been throughout the whole January window, that we never signed anybody. This is honestly, I can say this is the biggest gamble I've ever seen a Premier League club or a club of the level of Arsenal ever do, in the sense of trying to clear a huge wage bill. Compare our wage bills with other teams in the top 7. It's unbelievably low now compared. We are ready to sneak top 4 and then buy big players on big wages if we want to do that in the summer and go again in the Champions League. It is clearing off the people that we had there has left us so weak, and deciding, no, we don't need them in January. Let's put them out on loan. We're not in the FA Cup. We got knocked out very quickly. Let's not get anybody else in. We haven't got European football and, the rest of the season, 1 game a week, we'll be fine. Then, of course, COVID comes in, throws us about. We don't play for 2 weeks. We don't play for 3 weeks. And then suddenly we're worried about our congestion at the end of the season. We don't have the squad depth anymore. I mean, we're talking about Pepe. Pepe's ill at the moment. We don't know what's wrong with him. He wasn't on the bench. I don't know. Does anybody know what has he got? COVID? Has he got? I don't know. I mean, he seemed all right last week when he was playing in international. I don't know why he wasn't there.
He was out with the illness.
Yeah, illness.
He probably had
another Arsenal mystery. Maybe he's got Ronaldo's illness. I don't know. But
listen, CR7. No one worry about him.
Exactly. But Tomiyasu, I mean, who is this guy? I saw somebody the other day said, did he ever actually play for Arsenal? Who is this guy?
He's like a new signing.
He came in, he was amazing, and he literally, he's gone. He comes in, he's on the subs bench, and then you never see him again. And he's gone again. I mean, talk about glass. He's made of water. Do you know what I mean? He's not made of glass.
Can I just mention one thing, bro? We have 130 people in the chat. Shout out to all the people that are watching. Do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Understand, win, lose, or draw, we do these videos. And I love the support you guys showed after the last win. And I understand that there's going to be a lot of rivals in the chat that are making jokes, but please do not get triggered by it, people. Understand, they're going to make jokes. It's been almost 4 months since we've lost a game that's actually been where we were supposed to win. So just let it be. Just let it be.
Hey, thick skins, elephant skins, fine. Just keep it coming. I'm glad that we're making some people happy in this terrible time of war and high gas prices. Fine. Let's people make people happy. It's fine. Listen, getting back to Tomiyasu, I don't know what's going on with him. And then we move on to KT. I think Kieran Tierney, if he's going to stay at Arsenal and we're not going to sell him, he has to stop playing for Scotland. He has to pull out. It's obviously not working. He hasn't got the minerals in his body to play international football and play for Arsenal. And I'm sorry, Kieran, but you need to make a decision. You need to make a decision whether you're going to play at that level and you're going to play for Scotland. Obviously, there's a very good chance that Scotland could even get into the World Cup. God forbid if we had him in the playing out in Qatar as well as all our other players. Next season would just fall apart anyway. I don't even want to start talking about next season yet, but I'm deeply concerned what's going to happen at the end of this year with the World Cup and all our players going over there in the middle of a Premier League and then coming back. But hey, that's another show.
Let me just stop you there, bro, for a second.
I just want to hear. I'm trying to find out about Partey at the moment. I've just been looking all everywhere, trying to find out some information about him, and no one's saying anything.
I was just gonna move it on quickly, just so we can cover some other stuff before we have to go, because I wanna try to keep it under an hour if possible. Big up to people in the comment section. Yes, keep the likes up. Really do appreciate it. Everyone showing love to Colleen, Melina, and my guy Score Guy in the chat. I love the support you guys are showing. Even as a Chelsea fan, I just want Arsenal fans to face the reality and stay in their lane. All good, laughing at us about the 4-1. But battle with Spurs and enjoy it. I hear you. You know what? I got ahead of myself. I thought we had an opportunity to go for third. I definitely was one of those people. I put my hands up. You know what I mean? I'm already getting it on Twitter as we speak. I can already see the banter that I'm getting. But I wanted to talk about this. Is this a penalty, guys? Because I know this is not the reason why we lost, and I know this is not what we want to focus on for too long. But I just want to maybe touch on it for a second. What did you guys think this was a penalty? Just letting me know quickly what you guys thought. Colleen, did you think it was a penalty?
it was one of those ones, for me, it was one of those ones that could go either way. The only reason why I thought it could have been a penalty is because literally 30 seconds later, you see the exact kind of foul on the halfway line, and the ref gives a free kick. So you've got to be consistent. I think it probably would have been a bit soft, but you're going to have to be consistent. If you're going to make calls like that, you're going to have to make calls there in the box. It's as simple as that. I'm not, if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be too mad about it, but it's just like there's no consistency.
Yeah, we know that there's no consistency by the headbutt that Bentancur gave to Alan St. Maximin didn't get sent off. Pepe got sent off. But yeah, just a year before that. Melina, same thing. Did you think it was?
I also think it was too soft. I don't think it was a penalty. Although initially I thought, okay, maybe they might review it with VAR, but clearly that wasn't the case. And at the end of the day, we wouldn't have won the game anyway if we had got the penalty decision. So doesn't really matter.
There you go. And score guy, your thoughts?
Disgusted that it didn't go to VAR. You get seen them; they get given. It didn't go. If it was any other player, I'd say no penalty. But Saka just doesn't go down like that. He doesn't. He's the one person on form, the one person that can score in that position, and he doesn't go down. So I would like to have spun it and gone to VAR and let them decide. But again, we just don't get that choices, do we? We don't, as Arsenal fans, all the time we have these incidents and they don't go to VAR. Yet then when we do them, they always go to VAR and they're always against us. And I don't want to say about the agenda, but there is, and we know it's there, and that's that. Don't get me on the agenda.
If you guys know me, I always talk about referees, win, lose, or draw. So let's not act like we don't do that. But we're gonna now move on to the player ratings, just because we're gonna try to wrap this up quickly. So we're gonna start the player ratings right now.
3 for every single person.
just to let you know, we're gonna do the bench today because the bench players actually got to play for a decent amount of time. So first, Ramsdale, thoughts, people. Because in my opinion, Ramsdale did play well, and he saved it from going to a 4-0.
Yeah.
So I'm saying minimum 6. What do you guys think?
I'm also saying a 6. I think he made a decent save, but his passing was sloppy. It wasn't necessarily direct or much directness to his game to begin with. But then again, our whole team was awful today. But for me, I'll give him a 6.
Yeah. Okay, Colleen, what do you think about your boy Cedric?
I kind of touched on it before. I think he was probably one of the better players. I use better very loosely. The bar is low. He was one of our better players. I'm not even keen on giving anyone a 6, if I'm honest with you. But I think he's more in the realm of like 5. I don't think he was awful. He was one of our better players, but the bar wasn't high at all. So Zaha did give him a bit of a tough time. I will
5.5, 6.
I think him and Ramsdale. I don't think there should be any higher ratings than what we've just done. I don't think anyone should get anything higher than this.
5.5 then.
I think that's where they go.
5.5, that works. Ben White, score guy, gave away the free kick that led to the subsequent first goal. What are you giving Ben White?
I would give Ben 5. I thought it was a very disappointing. Again, Ramsdale, that was probably the worst game I've seen him play for Arsenal. I'd give him 5, and I would give 5 for White. And I think, Cedric was probably 5.5. But disappointing. That's all I can say. Disappointing.
Okay, we got some people giving Cedric a 5. Cedric's a 5 at best. People in the chat, let us know what you guys think for your your predictions for the player ratings. Also, Melina, Gabriel, what are you giving Gabriel? By the way, we gave him a 5, so that's a 5. Gabriel, I think Gabriel was very much at fault for the second goal. What was he thinking, sliding in like that? Melina, you said at the beginning of the match reaction that you thought he was the one that was pregnant, not his wife. So talk to me. What do you think?
I'm giving him a 3.5. Although he was good so far throughout this season, decent. Tonight was one of his worst performances I've seen him in an Arsenal kit. He was all over the place, and as I said earlier, it almost felt like he went through labor because he couldn't deliver on the pitch today.
Wow.
For Palace's second goal, he was at fault for that, and no one can tell me otherwise. So 3.5 for Gabriel for me.
By the way, the people in the comment section are laughing at your joke, and they think 2-0. They would rather give him a 2. But hey, 3.5 is what you went with. I'm not gonna lie. Every single one of us have to talk about Nuno. I'm just gonna get it off there. Every single one of us are gonna talk about Nuno. What the hell did we witness today with Nuno Tavares? By the way, before the game, I said, Nuno Tavares, it's your time to shine. 15 minutes into the game, I deleted the tweet. But yeah.
After Nottingham Forest, you would think this is my time to bounce back, prove to the manager that I have some footballing IQ. This guy has zero footballing IQ.
Okay. Melina said hers. That's a 0. What about you, Colleen? We got minus 10s in the chat. What are you saying?
Honestly, minus everything. Literally, will he ever finish a game for us in the first half? Will he ever get past like 60 minutes again? I don't think so. I don't know what Arteta saw in training to make him be like, you know what, I'll trust you, have your redemption rather than trying something, out there with Xhaka or something like that, what he ended up reverting to. But my God, his confidence must be on the floor. If we're being real, it must be non-existent because he wasn't great when he first came into the Arsenal squad, but he was not this bad as he's been in his last 3 or 4 performances. But he can't wear the shirt again. Not for another couple of years at least. He needs a loan. He needs to get out of here because
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm thinking about giving him a 0.5. Just because you can't physically give a player a 0.
Now listen. Give him 1 for putting the shirt on the right way round. Okay. And for beating the 37 minutes that he played against Forest. He gets 1.
Oh my God.
So 1 it is. But just to let you guys know what people thought in the chat, they definitely don't want him on the screen anymore. People think we're going to bottle top 4. People are saying 10 for Nuno Tavares as a rival, 10 for 10 as man of the match for Crystal Palace. You got 10, minus 10. You got people saying 0. You got people saying 1. I'll just keep it honest. If he starts again ever this season, I'll be shocked. I genuinely will be shocked. You know how bad it's been? The producer, Samuel's come and said he wants to speak about Nuno. That's how bad it's been. Nuno, what are you saying, Samuel, about Nuno?
Listen, I came back from Taraway today. I haven't been feeling well today at all. I think I'm going to keep it short and simple. Listen, it was bad today, bro. I think Tavares, from a player getting subbed off at half-time twice in back-to-back games he's played for Arsenal. Listen, I don't see no way back for him. There's no way home. Literally, no way home for this guy to come back. Because it's sort of like, who's that guy we had at left-back years ago? Right back, Justin Hoyt. You remember me? Just exactly like Justin Hoyt. Maybe Justin Hoyt would have done a lot better in that position today. You never know. But, I mean, I'm just in. Every Arsenal fan had that little hunch, that feeling, is Monday night Crystal Palace 5 is same situation as when Allardyce was there when they beat us 3-0. Arsenal fans also had that feeling. I had that feeling, and obviously the inevitable happened. From the first 5 minutes, you could tell where this game was heading, and it was going in an ugly direction, and it went ugly fast. But on the end, though, listen, I've looked at I still think we're getting top 4. I'm in no doubt. I'm still confident. I'm not scared. Listen, this game's just a blip. We take it on a game-by-game basis. The key thing now is recover for Saturday.
Okay, I hear you. Big up Samuel for coming on. Big up Samuel. Okay, so we're just gonna keep it moving. Nuno Tavares gets a 1. We keep it moving. Can everyone speak about Thomas Partey? How bad was Thomas Partey? Because I seen a statistic. I don't know if you guys
10
know.
misplaced passes in that first half.
The worst first half performance that he's had this season. He didn't play against Man City. Am I wrong? The first time.
Oh no, he didn't play the first time.
No.
Yeah, so just goes to show you, like, anyways, I'm just gonna start. I'm gonna give him a 1. I think once again, he's a senior player in this team. He cannot be performing that way. And Lokonga came on and played better than him with nobody supporting him in the midfield. Just gotta say, we expect. I heard today people calling him a world-class player. People talking about we finally found our solution, our replacement for Vieira. Like, that was not Vieira today. Last time we spoke, Score Guy, you said that reminded you of a certain Vieira. Vieira was the manager on the other side, looking at him laughing. But yeah,
listen, I'm embarrassed. I mean, you know what I said? I really thought the guy had it. I thought he had it. I thought he was going to just go on from where he was 2-3 weeks ago. And yeah, I mean, he came back from AFCON, obviously, was still on the plane mentally and made a bit of a fool of himself. Then from that point on, after that red card, over those games, this up until this international break, he's been immense. Absolutely transformed the team. Goes away again, comes back. He's not the same person. I mean, why is it international football breaks the rhythm of Arsenal squad? We've seen it happen time and time again, and
it's
it
the
has
level.
to be addressed.
It's the level of international football that he's playing at. When he comes back, he doesn't realize the pace and power of the Premier League in comparison to, let's be honest, AFCON qualifiers. Egypt is not going to be playing at the same pace and level as a Crystal Palace. So it's just there is a big drop.
But then again, he had Conor Gallagher was on him. Conor Gallagher had him in his pocket. He was every time Partey went anywhere, Gallagher was on him. I mean, literally, he was immense tonight, and he made Partey look foolish, and he had no comeback for it. He just couldn't handle Gallagher at all. And so it wasn't just that Partey was terrible. Gallagher played absolutely out of his skin tonight, and I think that again was where the weakness of our whole team stemmed from, because there was a certain players in that Crystal Palace team that were outstanding tonight. They were outstanding, and not one of our players can get above, where are we, 4 or 5? Do you know what I mean? And they were all playing on 7, 8s, and 9s tonight, and that's the reason we lost the game, as we all agree. We just didn't turn up.
Guys, just so everyone knows, what are we going to give Thomas Partey?
I'm giving him a 1.
1?
1.5.
Yeah, 1.5. 1.5 or a 2.
Yeah.
What frustrates me with Thomas Partey is that, there's never a middle ground with him. He's either really good or he's shocking. And I'm getting a bit fed up with him, if I'm honest with you. He was all for a long period of time. Then he had a nice little 3-4 month purple patch, and now we're here. To be fair to him, a lot of people were crap today. Let's be honest. But with him, it's like when he's crap. Like, he cannot pass the ball at all. It's like as soon as he makes a misplaced pass, it's like his head's gone, confidence has dropped, and it's just awful. He can never elevate his game throughout once he has a dodgy start. But it's just, I find him, he's starting to become a bit frustrating for me, to be honest with you. I'm going to be real. I like him a lot, but, either be good or be awful. Like, pick one. do one consistently so we know where we are with you.
Guys, Granit Xhaka, I'm just going to keep it moving. Granit Xhaka, one of the man of the matches, gets a 5.
Yeah. He went back into left back for us.
Yeah, I give him 6.
And then he played in the back 3 as well. So
yeah, I give him 6. I think he's better. And if you're giving some players 5, then Granit deserves 6, because he was the better of the bad bunch. And I'm not exactly a Granit Xhaka fan at all, but we looked better when he went back there. Anybody could look better. I could have played back there. We would have looked better, But I would.
But also, we were 2-0 down, and they didn't need to come on to us anymore.
Yeah, well, true, but they did anyway.
So yeah, Odegaard. Can I say I'm gonna be fair? I'm just gonna give him a 3.
Yeah.
3 for Odegaard. Anyone disagree?
He wasn't the worst.
Nope.
But he certainly wasn't good either.
Yeah. Anyone want to talk about the penalty Odegaard gave away? Do you think that was a penalty? Not a penalty? Were you questioning it at all? Because in my opinion, it was a penalty. I just want to know thoughts on the penalty Zaha got.
Penalty.
And it's the second time this season.
It's the second time he's done that exact same mistake. Why doesn't he learn from it? And the other thing is, why is he too afraid to shoot on target when he's in front of goal? That pisses me off so much.
Okay. He definitely does frustrate us sometimes, but in my opinion, he is not the first, and he's not going to be the last player to give away a penalty at Arsenal. I just feel like we've had such a good run of form with Odegaard. He has so much credit in the bank for me. I'm not going to hold him accountable solely to this loss today. Do you know what I mean? Like there's
No,
so
I
much other
understand that. Yeah.
there's so much other bad performers. Bukayo Saka. I had people saying Bukayo Saka is hiding because you see the memes on football Twitter of Bukayo Saka being like a kid from Africa or like stuff like that. Like honestly, it's just Crystal Palace put 3 players solely on Bukayo Saka the whole
To
entire
target
game.
him, yeah.
Yeah, and the way Bukayo Saka gets kicked every single game just gets kicked every game. They're not even playing football. It's not even football. Like I am sick and tired of the referees not giving us any calls. Do you know the first half there was not one yellow card given to Crystal Palace? Do you know 55 minutes into the game when we almost gave away the penalty, there still was no yellow cards given away. I just don't know what they're gonna do, how they're gonna change it. Maybe he needs to be England's captain to be protected, but I'm just gonna give Bukayo Saka a 3, and I'm gonna keep it moving. Do you guys agree?
I can't give Saka 3, but yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I'll give him a 4.
It seems like the only player who tried on the pitch, like along with Martinelli, who tried to make things happen today.
So
I would give him
5?
a 4.5.
4.5. Okay.
Four, 4.5. Yeah.
Anything good that happened came through Saka, really.
Yeah.
Well,
Totally.
it was somewhere part of it, you know.
Let's just give him a 5 and call it a day. That's good.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay.
Lacazette.
Emil Smith Rowe, what are we saying? Came back from internationals, didn't really feature for England.
Had the chance.
Missed a very easy
Had
chance.
the chance of the game.
Oh.
I thought Emil Smith Rowe's miss was probably one of the best chances of the game.
Yeah, it
4.
was the best chance.
Let's talk about that miss. Like, what? How do you miss that?
I think he's kind of snatched it. He doesn't actually open his body up enough to curve it around the keeper, but you know,
no force though. There's no strength in that shot at all. Nothing. It's a weak.
Snatched it.
Yeah.
I think he missed the actual ball and he just hit his toe like slightly.
Like the pressure just got to him. He's like, oh my god, I got to score. Like there was no finesse or composure there, which is disappointing to see from him because he's someone that we've relied. Like he normally comes off the bench and more. You can almost rely on him for a goal every now and again. Really, with Emil Smith Rowe, not good with that, and I don't think he had much of an influence in the game. He had moments in the second half, but overall, nothing.
4? What are we saying?
I said 4.
Yeah. 4.
I would just say this: his combination play was outstanding.
Yes.
At certain parts of the game, I thought he was brilliant at certain parts of the game. He had some good defensive moments. Also, he was one of the main people driving the ball higher up the pitch. But the problem with me with Smith Rowe was when he takes a shot, he either has a lot of time to dribble with the ball before he takes it, or he's taking it first time from distance. This was a situation where he was in the box, combination player, and he had to be quick with his feet. And he just wasn't. I think it was just he missed the chance. I think he completely missed the ball, and it just sliced at it, as you said, and that's why it happened. Lacazette, guys, do we even need to speak about Lacazette?
Same thing every single game.
He's just not it. You know what? The credit in the bank from that Wolves last minute winner can only last so long.
Yeah.
Especially there was talk this week he was going to get an extended contract for another year, and they were looking at keeping him, and all this positivity around him, and he's saying, "I'm not too sure, and I might," and he doesn't buck up. He's even, he wants to stay, but he's also thinking, well, if you're not in Champions League, I'm not sure I want to stay. I go somewhere out. And he's just in and out. He's just in and out now. And I think it's just proven he's already on the beach, or he's already thinks he's signed for Roma or wherever he's going.
Barcelona, I'm hearing.
Barcelona, or he's off with the Aubameyang. I don't know.
Return to the Chuckle Brothers with Aubameyang and Lacazette.
The thing is with Lacazette, you can accept he's a limited player now, especially at this point in his career, but there's being limited, and then there's just stupid lack of footballing IQ sometimes his decision making. And just how he's captain for Arsenal, I just don't know. Honestly, I'm just over him. He just needs. I don't want to see it. I just get the season over with him. I don't want him in the squad next year.
Yeah. Awful. And Dylan, just before we go to you, we're just going to finish up the player ratings, and we're going to bring it over to you. So Lacazette, what are we giving him? 3, 2,
3,
0.
0.
Shit.
2, to be fair.
2. Okay, we're gonna keep him a 2. Keep him moving. What are we gonna give Martinelli and these guys? I'm just gonna give you guys my quick synopsis on that. The bench, we do it together. So for Lokonga, did he play long enough to give him a rating?
He played better than Partey, though.
He
Yeah.
did. He
He had a
did play
decent
better than Partey. But did he play long enough?
Not really.
Just give him a
no.
5.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we give him a 5. We keep it moving. Eddie
Eddie
Nketiah was
Nketiah.
probably one of the best players. I'm giving him
Yeah.
a 5.5.
And that says something.
He also set
Yeah.
up that chance for Martin Odegaard that hit
And
the
he
post.
hit the bar.
Yeah.
And Martinelli, I thought he came in. He was lively. I think there's nothing really negative to say about him, so I'm gonna give him a 5 and keep it moving, or 5.5.
5 for me.
Yeah.
5 for you. Okay. And finally, just before we wrap up, I was gonna say the whole title of the video, the whole main point of the video today is it's time to regroup and push on and push forward. But before we do that, Dylan, where do you stand with what we witnessed today, and where do you think we go from today and where we left off? And to everyone who doesn't know, this was the player ratings, and this is what we put. We put down 6 for Ramsdale, 5.5 for Cedric, 5 for Ben White, 3.5 for Gabriel Magalhaes, 1 for Tavares, 2 for Partey, 5 for Xhaka, 3 for Odegaard, 5 for Saka. Smith Rowe got a 4, Lacazette got a 2, Martinelli got a 5, Eddie Nketiah got a 5.5, and Lokonga got a 5. Anyways, continue. So Dylan, what do you take it away? Thoughts on the game?
I'm just I'm miserable after that game. It was a deflating game, literally from the kickoff. What can I say? Literally from kickoff, they just were all over us. We had no foot in that game whatsoever. I think obviously the second half they allowed it. We gave them obviously a 2-goal lead, and I just think starting lineup was bad. I know Nuno was bad, but I think guys like Gabriel and Ben White were just abysmal today. Like White to give away the free kick, he didn't track his runner back. That helped concede that first goal. Gabriel shouldn't be lunging in like that either. But then Nuno's not tracking that runner as well. It's just, it was poor all around. Attacking, didn't take our chances again. I think even at 2-0 down, we had about 3 chances there where we should have scored. I think Emil 2. Odegaard, you could say he had one as well. It's just a shocking game, man. I really do hope it's just like a little blimp and it's just a 1-game thing. But it's just the performance, like when we lost to City or Liverpool, the performance was still there where I could still say, you know what, it is what it is. We'll move on. Today was just that we haven't played this bad since, I think, Everton. It would probably be our worst game of the season, I feel. And just that mentality that we're going to lose now, obviously, Tierney. We're going to be losing Partey as well. And it's going to come down to that horrible January transfer window again, where we didn't recruit when we needed to. So...
There you go.
I'm just worried. I'm stressed.
Okay. So guys, regroup, go up against Brighton. Are you guys worried against Brighton now after that performance?
We shouldn't be.
I'm not worried at home. I mean, it's Brighton, mind you, and we're the type of team when we lose, we try to bounce back as much as possible, and at home we tend to perform better than away on the road.
Listen, we don't have a choice really. They can't play much worse than that. So let's be real.
Sure.
We've shown this season that we have tendencies to bounce back. As long as we don't let the level of how bad that performance was get into their heads, or they keep it in and around that level. But I don't think that will be the case. As long as we don't get into this win lose, this weird pattern that could ensue from that. Considering we've been fair enough consistent in the last 4 months, lost only 3 games. So I'm not worried as long as Arteta can make sure mentally that they are not going to drop.
How do you think, like, just for like all you guys, like, how do you think we line up with left back and with midfield? Obviously, Partey out, Tierney out. I don't really want to see Nuno start again. Do you go with Xhaka left back? Do you switch Saka left back?
Xhaka's out.
Yeah, he got a yellow.
Yellow card.
Okay. Well,
what do you mean Xhaka is out? Xhaka is out for Brighton.
Yes.
He got a yellow card.
No.
Do you guys realize if Xhaka's out, we could be without
midfield.
Xhaka and Partey against Brighton?
Both gone. Not
so
there.
what we're gonna go? El Neni.
It'll probably be Saka
Elneny,
left
Lokonga.
wing back.
That's why I said you've got to have Saka's got to come back.
Well, that's the
You've
only thing
got
I
to
can
put
think of.
Elneny in
Yeah.
there. You got to
And
be
hopefully
holding it.
Pepe might be back.
So Xhaka, Partey, and
Tierney.
Tierney are all out.
And Tomiyasu.
Yeah.
No, Tomiyasu, I read that Arteta was just saving him and he's actually fit. I don't know if it's true though.
I don't know.
Tomiyasu, the mysterious man, is going to come in and
Maybe
save us all.
Maybe he never existed at all. Who knows?
Yeah. Listen, as I said, for my thoughts on Brighton, I feel confident, but what I feel confident is that Arteta will pick the right team to win that game. And that is what I believe, and that is what I hope I see on Saturday. And none of us, we could spend every single minute up until 3 o'clock on Saturday or 2 o'clock trying to pick that team, and none of us will get it right, because Arteta has to pick the hardest team of his Arsenal career with so many missing players to get the formation right so he can win at home. And I'm really looking forward to Saturday now, because we're going to really see Arteta prove that he has it.
Do you think we go 3 at the back?
Listen, I just want to read this comment right here. T1 said, Egal, you told Chelsea fans no excuses when fullbacks are out. No, what I said is there's no excuses when you have attacking players like the level you guys have to not be at least scoring goals. That I wasn't only talking about your injuries. I understand you guys had injuries. I'm not discrediting that, but I hear you. Obviously, since Arsenal had Kieran Tierney out, then Chelsea fans surely cannot banter us, because you guys know where we're coming from, having a fullback out, right? So there you go. Anyways, but they're still gonna banter us anyways. So there's hypocrisy.
How can they banter us? They lost 4-1 as well.
What? Yeah, they lost 4-1, but they don't care. Anyways, they're just here to make fun of Arsenal. It's almost like every fan base is rejoice when Arsenal drop points. It's so funny. It's so funny. Like,
look, we're still in it. We're on the same amount of points. We've got a game in hand. It's on us. It's literally in our hands. So it's a loss. We just got to move on from it. We just got to. Yeah.
I didn't know Xhaka had enough yellow cards to get him out.
Yeah.
So Xhaka's out.
Xhaka gets a yellow card when he gets out of bed in the morning. Of course,
guys. So 1 second. So who are we going to be playing with? What's going to be our team?
I think it'll be Elneny, Rob Holding. Assuming Tomiyasu is not back, it'll probably be Elneny back.
Who's going to be our starting 11 for next game? I'm confused.
Well, we could go 3 at the back with Rob Holding, Saka as a wing back, Cedric as a wing back.
Oh my god.
Let's get creative.
Okay. So we know Rams. 1 second. We know Ramsdale's back. 1 second. Let's just do this right now, because I don't know when the next time I'm gonna have you guys on. So we know Ramsdale's there, right? So we don't have to worry there.
And probably Saka left wing back.
What? Saka?
Yeah.
Probably Saka will be left back. Yeah.
Yeah. Saka left back.
Really?
He's got no one else.
You could do Cedric and then Ben White as right back, but I don't see him doing that. If I'm honest with you, I don't see him.
Yeah, Ben White right back maybe.
He could
Cedric left back, Ben White on the right.
He could do
Cedric left and Ben White
Ben
right
White
back.
at right
Rob
back.
Holding centre back.
That mean Rob Holding and Gabriel.
Could go Cedric,
yeah,
and then Ben White. Where is Benjamin White? Okay, they call him Ben White here. Okay. Anyways, you guys continue. Obviously, my spelling's terrible.
Holding Gabriel.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is so bad in comparison to what we had just a couple of days ago.
And it depends how conservative he's going to be in the middle. I'm naturally thinking Elneny and Lokonga, but if we still have Saka, he might drop Smith Rowe or Odegaard slightly deeper.
Is he going to double pivot, or is he going to do single pivot?
Well, we're at home, so you could get away with it. But with that makeshift back four, do you want to take that risk? I don't know.
You want to trust Lokonga by himself?
I don't put Elneny. Elneny would be the holding midfielder.
Elneny, yeah.
Oh, but he didn't bring on Elneny today.
So you're gonna bring in Pepe into the squad then?
No, I think he's gonna start Lokonga, and he's gonna put Odegaard and Smith Rowe beside them.
Odegaard, Smith Rowe. Then you're gonna go for Martinelli, Saka.
Yeah.
No, Saka's left back.
No, Saka's not going to be left back. Cedric's going to be left back.
Oh, sorry.
Saka's going to be right. I think Saka's going to be here.
It's going to be. I think he might go for a bit more experience, considering, like in terms of like not losing the midfield battle in terms of having Basuma in for Brighton. I think he might go more conservative with Elneny. I would rather Lokonga, if I'm honest with you, but at this point,
you'll go Elneny and Lokonga.
I don't know. 100%, I don't know. I really don't know. It just depends on how. I think we have to win that game, so I don't think he can afford to be that conservative. And we're at home. But the flip side of it is, considering the performance we've just had, then doing a makeshift back four that's not really where you'd want them to be playing. It depends on how confident he's feeling in the players. To be honest with you, I couldn't call it. I don't know.
You see, we can't even figure out the team. For the last couple of weeks, we've known the team. This is an issue. We can't even figure out what formation we're going to play. Hypothetically, this is what I think is going to happen. I think he's either going to play Elneny or Lokonga, right? So I'm just going to put Odegaard in here. I'm going to put Martin in here because I think Martin's going to start in this side, obviously, right? Oh, what's going on? I'm sorry, guys. I'm taking my. Usually, I have an app that has all the Arsenal players loaded up, but this is just a mess. So, yeah, okay. You know what? Let's just talk about it off screen, and then I get it sorted out because we know
Arteta's given up already.
We know Lacazette starting. Would you play Emil Smith-Rowe or Martinelli? Because I think Martinelli
Lacazette shouldn't be starting.
I think Martinelli offers us more defensive cover. You guys agree?
Martinelli starts at front.
Martinelli should be the first name on the team sheet. There shouldn't be anyone else.
Totally.
Okay. So do you still play Emil Smith-Rowe and Odegaard together, or do you go double pivot with Elneny and
I put them both on.
I go Lokonga and Elneny. That's what I do personally.
We haven't played the system in a long time though. Double pivot.
I think just given the context of the previous game, this needs to be a must-win, and considering our lack thereof of senior players available to us and with the back four, I just don't see him being that. I don't see him being that bold and just being like, I want my attacking flair players on. I think he'll go for something that's a little bit more still, if you like, if you can even call it that, with Lokonga and Elneny. But hopefully it's just for one game against Brighton. I don't know. I don't see Arteta going there. I don't see him risking it.
No, I agree. I think it will be Lokonga and Elneny. But I do think Martinelli deserves his chance to start up front and put Lacazette on the bench.
Lacazette has to be on the bench. He's useless, honestly.
Yeah, we have
to try it. If you're going to try it against Brighton,
guys. Lacazette has to go on the bench, and Martinelli starts. This is the time when we have to win this game, and we need someone fresh and is driven and can finish. And Martinelli is the guy. You could see it in tonight, and I think he has to be given the chance. We have to win this game on Saturday. There's none of this wait until 70 minutes and it's still 0-0. We need Martinelli driving at them for the whole game.
Martinelli should have started today.
That is our best team for the next game.
I don't think that's our best team. Take Lacazette out of it, and then it's our best team. Lacazette's horrible.
Hypothetically, Lacazette will never be benched, right?
Well, hypothetically,
he used to be on the bench.
He's useless.
I think that's how Arteta will line up, though.
There's no way Arteta would put. Sorry, Colleen. There's no way Arteta will put Lacazette on the bench.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You say that, but he was benched the whole first start of the season. So
I'm going to tweet that every single day until Saturday. Lacazette on the bench. Lacazette on the bench.
he needs to be benched. He's useless.
So do you guys agree?
Let's get that hashtagging going.
So do you guys agree? This is possibly the predicted lineup for the next game, most likely.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what.
Oh my God!
If this is the predicted lineup versus Brighton, is that a loss?
No,
we can win with that team. There's no issues there. It's a better team than Brighton's.
Yeah, we're at home. Brighton can't. They literally can't finish their dinner. With that being said,
we can't.
It's the same thing with Leeds. Leeds might be due a win. Who knows? You know.
I don't know. It's the more I think about it, the more my confidence kind of wanes a little bit.
Yeah, I think this game has deflated us all.
I
didn't really expect this performance. I thought maybe we get a draw or even if Palace win, but just the performance has just deflated me.
You know what? I just seen a tweet from my guy Hussam. He said everyone has been waiting for the Arsenal downfall. It's been too long. Over 600 people in the space today.
Oh wow!
It just goes to show you, people literally rejoice in seeing Arsenal fail.
Yeah, but
I don't understand why Man United. I don't understand why Man United fans are piping up to us when they're in 7th right now, and they have a lot more to fix up than us, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Look, it's not the end of the world. We're tied on points with Tottenham with a game in hand. It's just not that bad.
It's a long way to go,
but
guys.
When we look at this, when we look at that team, guys, when we look at that team that I just put out, it doesn't scream confidence.
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah,
See,
but you know what, bro? When Leicester won the league, they didn't have the best team at the start of the year either. You know what? If you got team unity and you play together and you play for each other, it's a lot more than just having the best players.
Yeah, okay, let's talk about it because Hussam, Liverpool fan, keeps bringing it up. Big up to Hussam. It's like I literally just mentioned him 2 seconds ago, and then he comes up. I
He's
think
not
it's
going
the
to
real
Liverpool,
Hussam.
man.
It's not the fake one. But he says Saka to Liverpool, guys. Not for a second do I ever believe it's ever going to happen. But let's just talk about it for a second. Do you think it's even possible Liverpool could sign a Saka from us?
Not this season, no. Not in the summer. I don't see it happening.
If we don't make top 4 and show ambition, if I'm Saka or Martinelli, of course I'm leaving. Why would I stay at Arsenal? It makes sense.
Mhm. I don't think Liverpool.
Why
I
would you
don't
want to stay?
particular. I agree. I don't think we have to match Saka and Martinelli's ambitions in terms
Exactly,
of.
yeah.
I think they are buying. I think they definitely are buying in. They're bought into it. But we've watched this movie before, especially in the noughties.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we've seen it. So hopefully we can make sure history doesn't repeat itself. But in terms of Liverpool, I don't think Liverpool even have the funds to even afford Saka. I don't know why people think he's gonna go to Liverpool. FSG are a little bit tight. They're gonna have to sell some big money players to afford Saka. I don't think it's gonna go to Liverpool, but we just need to match the ambition, and Champions League's a good start, but definitely not this season. Whether we get this season or not, that they by force they will still be here at London Colney when pre-season and the season starts.
Yeah, I can't see
Agreed.
Saka, like you say, going. I think something like that. I think Arsenal have learnt their lessons a lot in the last few seasons. Not recently, but in the with Van Persie, Fabregas. You go through that long list. We all know that list, and I just think that will be a regime change. It will be a new manager coming in at Arsenal. It will be that we're not getting top 4. We're not challenging. We're not doing. We're in some sort of wilderness, and Saka wants to go. And rightly, yeah, if players want to go and they want to go and try and win stuff, I mean, we're not like certain teams that hold on to people just expecting and they never win anything, and Saka is young and like you say, he's going to want to move on. But at the moment, as it stands, we're going to get top 4 and he's going to stay, and we're going to sign some amazing players in the summer, and we're going to move on. You've got to think of the positivity here. We don't need to keep looking over our shoulders at the moment. We're still very much in this race, and Saka is very, very key to this. And obviously he's going to get the plaudits because he's playing so well for England, and he has been playing so well for us, and he's only going to get better, and they're going to start coming all the time. But for Liverpool to try and buy Saka, they would have to get rid of Salah. They'd have to sell another couple of players. Like you say, they haven't got the money. And God knows how much Saka would be worth on the open market. I do not know. I mean, what would you think? What's the going rate for one of the best players in Europe, young players in Europe? I think it would be an unbelievable amount of money. It really would. And it just depends if our owners think that they want to do another cash in, like they have cashed in on many players in the past. I don't know. I don't know, but I'm there for the riot if it happens.
Good night, sweetie. Okay. Honestly, I don't know if Saka is going to be coming to a situation where he's thinking about leaving. At this moment in time, he's just focused on one thing and one thing only. That's him getting top 4 with the rest of the players. But yeah, I just want to say this. There's a comment that I received from somebody in the comment section a couple of weeks ago when we were speaking about players possibly leaving Arsenal. And this was a comment that resonated close with me. He said, Arsenal has a reputation of being a classy club and doing things the right way and doing right by the players that they currently have in their team when they're performing for them. And unlike other clubs. So when they do leave Arsenal, they tend to see that it's not always as good on the other side. So, for example, you got Alexis Sanchez leaving Arsenal, immediately realizing he made a mistake. You have Haleb going to Barcelona, saying to himself he ruined his career by doing that transfer. Alex Song starting week in, week out, going to Barcelona just to sit on the bench. You got, what's his name? Another guy, the center back who went to Barcelona also. Same thing happened to him. What's his name again? Vermaelen. So it's not the first time. It's not the first time Arsenal players have left to go to a more ambitious club and then realize they ruined their career or ruined their reputation in world football because they became a bit part player at the next club they went to. So
there's also a lot that succeeded as well. So
Who's
Yeah, Bronquist was the first player to leave Arsenal and actually go on and win something in that whole point. That was,
Thierry?
you know,
No. My guy.
Thierry, Patrick, everyone left and they did better things.
Understand that when Thierry Henry left, he left to a team that just beat us in the Champions League. So regardless, he was going to succeed at that Barcelona team, and a lot of these other players did succeed too.
RVP.
But I'm not only talking about the ones that did bad. Yes, there is people who have done well, but when it comes to certain players leaving, they need to leave for the right thing. And I think Bukayo Saka, at the age that he's in right now, to leave Arsenal, to go be a bench player or a bit part player for a Liverpool team, or to go and leave and go somewhere else like a Man City and be a bit part player, it doesn't make sense. If he stays for another 3 years, develops himself, he can leave then. If we still are terrible. But I do think he's going to sign a new contract and he's going to stay for at least another 3 more years, personally. That's just my opinion. But yeah, Gnabry, people are saying Gnabry
was youth system and he wanted to leave. That's separate.
Yeah, this is a different situation. But
We
yeah,
offered him a contract.
I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. Thank you, Colleen. Thank you, Melina. Thank you,
No
Score Guy.
problem.
Thank you, Dylan. Big up to every single person in the chat. There's been a lot of people in the chat. There's just one more super chat I need to read out before we go. Where is it? Mohammed says, weren't Arsenal's the ones that were firing innocent staff members during COVID? Classy, give me a break, bro. Tyreek, I understand.
Every club fired people during COVID, so you can't
Every
Arsenal were
club.
just the one in the paper. Every club did it. That's
Every
a lie.
club had some level of cutting down, be
Of
it
course.
in front of the media and in front of everybody or behind the scenes. If you guys remember, Tottenham did furloughed their staff, Liverpool furloughed their staff, and then did it, then undid it. Everyone took their
Every
own thing.
business in the world had to.
Understand, Arsenal were the only club where their fans took a pay cut. Not fans, their team players took a pay cut. But yeah, anyways, we're gonna.
Sorry, I just got a message from who Sam is watching, who messaged me saying 45 million and Saka is ours. He's a Liverpool fan, so that's just like a nice little joke for you. 45 million for Saka. Honestly, what's the year? 2005 or something? Get out.
If I'm watching Maguire 80, Grealish 100, Saka's going for well more than that.
Yeah, he put that in the chat, by the way. I seen it. You seen that in the chat, right?
No, he messaged me on Twitter. I think he's watching along.
Big up him. But yeah, everyone, we're gonna wrap up. Anybody have any closing remarks before we go?
keep the faith, guys. Just keep the faith.
Look, let's just hope we bounce back, man. We need a big result against Brighton and a great performance. A minimum 3-0, but I want to see a good performance like we bounce back, even with the second string team. But that's all we need. Just bounce back.
Yeah, stay strong.
Because, man, any one of these teams, Tottenham can go and lose. Tottenham lost to Palace 3-0 at home. People are forgetting. So they can't banter us. They literally got the exact same result. So we can do it. We can bounce back.
There you go. Have yourselves a wonderful day, guys. We're out of here. You already know what it is. The Kitty G on EGTV. If you haven't already liked the video, like the goddamn video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And yeah, and if Declan Rice costs 150 million, Bukayo Saka does cost 200. Yeah, let's go.
300 million.